Let's be honest, everyone saw this coming. Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the newly announced Hot Toys 1/6 scale Praetorian guards based on their likeness and appearance from Mandalorian Season 3. Now, these fellas I do not believe were in the original trilogy or the prequels. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below on that. I think their first appearance was in the sequels, and then they reappeared here in Mando Season 3. So we're going to take a look at them. Let's get some basics out of the way here first. So they're $245 according to Sideshow, if that is your retailer, and they're expected to ship sometime between July and December of next year. So $245, let's be honest, that's as cheap as you're going to get a Hot Toy for these days. I think a few years back, the Stormtrooper Commander, based on the likeness of that particular trooper from Mandalorian Season 2. Great figure, by the way. You could actually remove the pauldron. It could double as a normal trooper. If you're a trooper blind, myself, like myself, I can't really tell the difference. I know there's subtle differences between the A New Hope Stormtroopers and the, Empire, Jedi, Rogue One, whatever. But look, to the untrained eye like my own, you could take away that orange pauldron and it would look like a trooper. But anyway, so that was the point about talking about that, is for the longest time on the Sideshow site for about a year or two, is the cheapest Hot Toy you can get at $220. But this one here, $245, so let's take a look at it. Now, a lot of people, I think, are going to fall into two camps on this, getting none or getting three. As much as Season 3 of Mandalorian fell flat for me, as it did for, I'd imagine, a lot of people watching this. And again, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. Well, I suppose I can't be wrong. That's my opinion on Season 3. It did fall flat for me. But I think a lot of people are going to pick up either none or three of these. Me personally, I'm not going to get any of these based on Season 3 of The Mandalorian not being that strong, and they didn't particularly do it for me. Although I do like troopers. For this here, one of the most kind of, how do I say, best parts of Mandalorian Season 3 was that duel between the three of these and Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. I thought that was pretty good. In fairness, there were good parts about Season 3, but all as a cohesive story just really wasn't working for me. But this is one of the better things, that duel between the three of these Praetorian guards and the Heavy Infantry Trooper, and spoilers, how he went out in the end. But this looks really good. This looks really good. I mean, definitely no criticism here. I do have one little critique, apart from this blade here. It's kind of funny, isn't it? In a kind of this is a total nitpick, but in a world or a galaxy, a universe where you have lightsabers, blasters, all that kind of stuff, they essentially give these people a cattle prod, or kind of a blade or something like that. Seems a bit strange, but I suppose it looks the part. Anyway, so I really like the proportion on this. I really like the color and the way that kind of glossy color and the way the light bounces off it. The helmet design is pretty cool. These are kind of like the kind of elite bodyguard type of troopers. So they're kind of protecting Moff Gideon here, I suppose, by attacking the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. And I believe this kind of blade you get with it comes in 3 different configurations here. So just a few things, like look at they're a cool design. They're definitely eye-catching. They're definitely striking. They will definitely have shelf presence, especially if you're like maybe putting 2 of these behind Moff Gideon, or maybe you're recreating that scene and you're having 3 of these in different poses attacking the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. I think that will look pretty damn sweet. It's funny, there's a lot of the parts of Season 3 of Mandalorian that do look cool, but for me, it's not enough that the thing looks cool. I kind of have to have a connection to that particular TV show or that particular movie to really draw me in. I do think that these blade things, I'm going to get the real name from later on. I'm going to stop calling them blade things. They look a little cheap, and I get that it's made from plastic and all that, but I'm not sure is the paint apps. I'm not even sure if this is actually accurate. Just from looking at this, it looks a bit too toyetic, whereas the trooper itself looks fantastic. Okay, so you're going to get the regular Star Wars base. I presume there's no sand base here, just a regular kind of I suppose, also the Death Star kind of floor type base. I'll probably get a better look at it later on. Just going to flick ahead actually and look at everything that this guy comes with. All right, so let's just zoom in. So it's called a Vibro Arbor, a Vibro Arbor blade with 2 wielding modes. Okay, so you've got the kind of the long staff with kind of almost like pike or spike at the end, and then you kind of have this vibro blade on one side. Okay, you seem to be able to disconnect them. Would that be correct? Yeah, because that looks like the bottom half in his left hand there, and then in his right hand it looks like the top half that we can see here. And then you kind of have this version here on the right that looks like, it's strange, it looks like essentially a sword with all this kind of these energy segments. It's hard to describe, I'm not sure what the correct terminology for that is. Yeah, look, I liked the look of Moff Gideon from season 2, or season 3 should I say. The head sculpt's fantastic, and I like the look of these, but I just don't, I just didn't like the season enough to actually go ahead and pre-order them. Yeah, so you get the standard Star Wars base here. Yeah, so just a few recap on this. It's $245. It's coming out in like either quarter 3 or 4 next year. Comes with a base, comes with 6 different swap out hands. You've got this Vibro Arbor blade with 2 different wielding modes. I'm just trying to work out though. I can see the whole thing connected together, like on this picture on the left, with the kind of vibro blade on one side, the bit that looks like looks like a blade, looks like a razor or whatever, and then the bottom half, the kind of pointy bit. And I can see in the middle picture, he's disconnected the two of them. And then on the right hand side here to the bottom, all this light up part looks more like a sword. I'm gonna flick through these images, see if I can get a bit more clarity on that. But yeah, look, it looks cool. But then again, like a lot of the stuff, that only it lights up, does it? Must check the fine print for that. No, it would say if it lights up. That's a bit of Photoshop trickery going on there. I genuinely think a lot of people are not going to be picking this up or picking up 3 of them. I think this is one of those go hard or go home kind of moments. I suppose then you could get people who pick up the Moff Gideon just have like 2 of these, you know, directly behind them. And I suppose with the different display mechanisms or different display methods for this kind of like vibro blade, you could actually just configure it in a different way for each of them to give a different look and a different pose, obviously. Like aesthetically, it looks great. There you go. So someone's obviously kind of been, obviously the blogger, or not blogger, the I don't know, but yeah, blogger, the photographer has been making it look like these are just about to kind of show down with the heavy infantry Mandalorian. I'm just going to pose them, just putting a few tweaks, simple poses, pose in different ways to give you the idea that there are 3 of them. Aesthetically, it looks cool. Yeah, so that's like this comes with it as well. So it's like, it gets that vibro blade thing and this sword looking like structure. I'm not gone on this. It's funny, I'm definitely biased because I'm not gone on the idea that, like I said already, in an environment or in a universe where there's lightsabers and there's blasters, that they essentially just give them a fancy cattle prod as a weapon. And these are supposed to be like the Imperial bodyguards, like the Praetorian guards. It's fine. I still can't work this out. Vibro Arbor blade with 2 wielding modes. But I can see like 3 different ways of doing this. Maybe they just haven't labeled this bit that lights up, that it's kind of glowing like a sword. Maybe it's just a different accessory, but for some reason it's not. Flicking through these images, like that thing there, is that can't be the same as, it doesn't look the same as the other ones. I don't think it is. It comes with like maybe 2 weapons then. So you can display, like I can see how this splits apart and you get what's on the picture on the right. I get that. But then is this another configuration or something separate? It looks something completely separate. It must be separate. Maybe why isn't it's not labeled there in any of these images? Yeah, I can't get to. I'm just going to go out and look at the. I'm going to look at the description in Sideshow actually. So what's in the box? Weapons: 1 heavy blade, and then 2 blades can be attached to form the double blade, and then 1 chain whip embedded with a wire. Okay, so there you go. Right, so that's the. Yeah, there comes with quite a bit. I'm just going to go over to that image again of everything. Yeah, so you've got the Vibro Arbor blade. That's one thing in two different modes. You can have it together or split apart. And then you have that other form of blade here on the right. I'm going to zoom in on that. So this one here in the center. And then you've got the kind of I don't know, energy chain whip or whatever you want to call it. I wonder, does it light up? Doesn't seem. No, according to the weapons here and the sideshow site, it doesn't light up. Yeah, so look, final conclusion on that. I do collect troopers, but I know this is maybe you can call it a type of trooper. I wouldn't necessarily consider it a trooper. It depends which way you look at it, I suppose. But based on, there's a lot of things. Based on my lack of enthusiasm for Mando Season 3, that's one thing. Based on the massive storm that's hitting us at the moment, there are other things I could prioritize. And basically, I don't have the space or the cash for picking things that I'm not absolutely mad into. So it has to be those triple threats. I'm really dialing in that. It has to be you know, a character that I love from a particular IP or source material. So I have to love the character, love the source material, and love that particular version. Did not love Mandalorian Season 3, so that's the drawback here on this one. And even there are triple threats out there that I can't afford to get because you can't get everything. You can't get everything. So look, yeah, that's it. Bit of a roundabout way of saying it. But look, aesthetically, looks the part. I'm looking forward to seeing people who buy 3 of these and pose them up on heavy infantry Mando. That is the end of this video. If you want to support the channel, like the video. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment letting me know if you're picking up none, 1, 2 or 3 of these guys. You can also follow me on Instagram and follow me on X. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck. Oh, by the way, if you're still watching this and you're watching this you know, on the premiere, there will be a Hope show tonight in a few moments actually. All right, see you. Good luck.